Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back for this storage room makeover, declutter, and organization. This is a big video. It took me 3 days to film it and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Of course, it didn't go exactly how I planned, but that's okay. That's kind of how these organization projects go. I just go with the flow, do my best, and still have a great after shot. So now here is some of the before shots of this closet. It's basically just a giant storage room we have upstairs. In here we keep all of our holiday decor, extra home decor, books, office supplies. My husband's military gear was all in here. That's going to be relocated in a little bit. I'll talk about that in a second. But first, I need to just start tidying up this space. I bought from Target some new organizers and a new storage rack and some new fall decor. So I had to clean that up before I started taking everything out of the main closet because there was a lot of stuff. Like, you could not walk into this closet anymore. It's overflowing. It was desperately in need of some good TLC, and that's exactly what this video is. So if you are ready for a 3-day ultimate declutter and organize with me makeover, stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed and like this video. Let's dig in. The first thing I'm doing is just emptying out everything that's cluttering up the floor. You'll see that I do some organization while actually still in that closet. Like, I don't take everything out just to be able to organize it, but because I couldn't even walk into this closet, I definitely needed to make some room, clear some space, and just pull things out. And I am making some rough piles out in the landing zone where this door leads to. So I'm making some piles of random home decor. I'm making a haphazard donation pile, and you'll see me go run and grab a trash bag here pretty quick because we're gonna start going through my husband's military stuff. And I don't know what it is about boys, like, he is a very clean and organized man, and he does keep all of his military stuff mostly in the bin upstairs, so like that's all I can really ask for. But this bin itself is nasty. It's full of trash and papers, and I'm pretty sure a bottle of Purell has spilled all over everything. So it's a little bit slimy, really nasty, and just a ton of unused stuff that's just taking up space. So here I'm just gonna go through this, make some piles. If there was anything that I was not sure about, I either just kept it to be safe or put it in a pile for my husband to look through later. Christian doesn't make any appearances in this video, but he does, like when he came home from work, like go through a bunch of piles for me to narrow down what he doesn't care to keep in the room anymore. So he does help with decluttering even when he's not on camera. But right here, it was some nasty work. I was not having fun doing this process, but I'm so glad I did because I was able to clear up so much extra space in this bin because there was just so much trash in it to start with. Now this little pile next to the bin is everything going back inside of it. So here I am just stacking everything back in there, making it a little bit neater, but not too concerned because you could tell from before there was no organization in here to begin with. So I'm just gonna throw everything in here and then also start trying to fit in some extra gear that's just laying around in the closet. I'm gonna talk about this in a little bit, but my goal is to narrow it down to have everything be in a bin rather than have everything just like out or in random boxes on the floor. And ultimately, I'm actually gonna have Christian move this down to the garage. I think it'll be more functional to keep down there, especially since some of this stuff is relatively heavy and probably not fun for him to go up and down the stairs for all the time. So I think 2 bins will fit just fine and dandy down in the garage, and it'll give me a little more wiggle room in this closet because I think the biggest problem with this closet is that things end up on the floor way too much. Moving on to day 2 of this project, I went through this nasty bin of some of Christian's military stuff, and my goal was to fit all of the gear, including this bag, these really heavy plates, bag of boots, that whole stuff, in just one more bin. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm gonna try, but the goal is to get this downstairs out of this closet. We're also gonna be selling this to move this out of here. Bucky came here for the update. We have a bag of trash. This is gonna be where I'm doing donations, and I'm just pulling things out. We'll be donating a lot and then selling some things like this table and lamp. I'm gonna try to list to make a couple more bucks. Sorry about my appearance. It's been a hot work day. I did yard work and walked the dog and all kinds of things outside, but I'm really excited about the progress that's happening. It's a little bit chaotic. It's definitely in the like it gets worse before it gets better phase right now, but I'm excited to start clearing this out even more because once I've gone through all my junk, I'm going to build this 5-tier metal shelving unit that I got at a Target pickup. And then I also picked up 4 new bins. I was gonna make them all matching, but it was gonna be like dumb expensive to do that. So we're gonna have some mismatching bins. Maybe over time I will buy more of these or something, but that'll work for now. I think I'm gonna pull out my Cricut too and make matching labels for them. So that'll be really cute. But I'm kind of at a standstill because even if I wasn't 18 weeks pregnant right now, I don't think moving this downstairs by myself is a good idea. Same with the military bins. That's gonna be super heavy to move, but I think I can pull all of it out at least and make a pile for Christian somewhere here as like his move downstairs pile for me. So we're gonna keep clearing this out, keep moving and grooving, keep making progress. The main thing that spurred me to start this project wasn't necessarily it just being super crowded in the closet and things being on the floor. It was actually this pile of stuff right here. I had a giant pile of random home decor, sentimental items, holiday decor, books, and it was all just on the floor because I have bins for all of these to go, but you can see that I've got luggage and Christmas bins and all kinds of stuff blocking the bins. So this closet was just no longer functional. So that's why I wanted to get everything off the ground. Like I want to put in the new storage rack so the Christmas bins can have their own slot and stay there, and all of these bins to the left on the screen are still accessible because even though I had the organization in place, it wasn't accessible, if that makes sense. So the goal of this entire video was to be able to just put things away in here quickly, that way things don't pile up on the floor like they were going to. Because that whole pile of home decor stuff, I had places for it to go, I just physically couldn't reach it because all of the luggage and the bins right behind me. So we are fixing that in this video, and now I am moving on to a very difficult project for me to declutter. I've been avoiding this since I've been decluttering. I love books. I'm a big reader. Actually, I used to be an even bigger reader in like high school and middle school, and with the moves and college and all of that, reading's been put on the back burner, but I love to read so much. In my parents' house in Florida, I have a giant bookcase that is filled with books still. I've only brought a couple of favorites on all of these crazy moves across the country with me. One day I will recover all of them, but I have a really hard time getting rid of books, and I think Christian's the same way too, so I just never go through them or declutter them. And today I was going through with the mindset of, would I ever reread this book? And I was being pretty brutal for me when I struggle with this a lot. So I had a pile for books that were going to be sentimental. I had a pile for Christian to go through because I wasn't going to declutter something of his, like I said earlier. And then I was being really ruthless with my pile of books because all of them would be donated to Goodwill or the local library, where they would get a lot more use than just sitting in this dusty closet upstairs, and we'll have a lot more space in this room. So this was like a bit of an overwhelming project. I had to take some breaks during this because books are just a very hard thing for me to declutter. So let me know down below in the comments, like, what is your hard thing to declutter? I know some people struggle with going through and letting go of clothes. Maybe you're like me and books are the hardest thing, or sentimental items. Let me know down below, what's your biggest struggle with decluttering? At this point, I finally cleared out the closet enough to be able to assemble the storage rack in here. I wanted to do it inside of the room because I wasn't sure if it was taller than the door or not, so I wanted to keep this as easy as possible, and I think building it in the room it's going to stay in is the easiest option. Now this thing is really sturdy. It has 5 different shelves. I'm only going to use 4 of them though, but each shelf is able to hold up to 350 pounds. So if we ever need to like expand this storage system out into the garage, I definitely know what I'll be getting from Target. I looked at some options from Costco, and I think this option from Target was like the most cost-effective option, especially for what I needed. Costco sells like specialty ones that hold their like black and yellow bins specifically, but I knew that I didn't want to have to buy all of those for upstairs because those are really big bins and I needed just kind of medium-sized bins. So this rack was the perfect solution along with the storage bins, and I'll have everything that I use in this video linked down below if you guys want to try anything that I showed today. The shelf height is completely adjustable, so I made sure to double and triple measure how high each shelf was gonna go so that these big bins with all of our Christmas decor would definitely fit perfectly. And I'm so glad I did, because if I did not measure them, I would have probably just used all 5 shelves and then none of these bins would have fit. So always measure twice and then do it once, even though this is a pretty user-friendly product. I know because I've made this mistake before building a similar shelf, and it was pretty simple to just kind of rework it. Moving over to these built-in shelves in this room, I'm gonna start taking down some boxes. We hold on to a lot of product boxes, mostly because we move a lot, but also just in case we ever wanna sell something. Like when we bought my husband's PlayStation 4 like 2 years ago, we bought it thinking like, oh, we might sell this one day, and we did sell it, and we feel like we can get a little bit extra money when it comes with the box and everything else. So for anything we might potentially sell in the future, we hold on to, and for our favorite kitchen gadgets, I keep those boxes for moving purposes. But I am gonna start reorganizing all of these bins. Here was my spring decor bin that I previously had. There was no lid on the box and it was overflowing, so I'm using one of my new Target bins to transfer everything over into. And I'm also going to be doing the same with all of the fall decor that I'm going to keep. There are some other uses for these bins that I have in mind, and there are a couple other like categories of bins that I wanted to create. For example, I didn't have a bin for just sentimental items, so I have like the straps to my wedding dress for some reason. The dress itself is in Florida, but I have the straps here, or I have a bunch of mementos from college, or Christian does too, so I wanted to create a bin for all of those. And here you can see, just to make the fall bins and the spring bins match, I'm putting all the fall decor in a matching bin. Kind of no rhyme or reason to this, I just want the bins to like coordinate and look nice, and then you'll see later on that we're actually gonna go and label these. I'm gonna do a quick declutter of my organization bin because it was full and I had a couple extra organization things that I wanted to squeeze in here. So I'm kind of trying to control myself a little bit that if I want to keep anything else in these bins, something else is going to have to be decluttered. But here I am just going through with all of the leftover bins, trying to see what will fit. Here I'm making up like our sentimental bins, so we have some books, some paperwork, and other things that need to fit in a bin. And while I'm doing this, I'm also cleaning up this landing zone because you can see that the inside of the closet is looking nice, but everywhere else upstairs is kind of a disaster. Day 3 of the project. I'm in the closet right now and I don't want to finish this project. I don't feel too good today. Just pregnancy things. Thus my appearances. You're gonna see me in my pajamas basically, but I need to get this done. And in an Instagram poll yesterday, I asked if I should just order 4 more of these white bins so that all of them will match. And you guys are my people and you all voted like, yes, you obviously have to do that. But I ordered it from 2 different Targets. Both Targets canceled the pickup orders. So Target does not want me to do that. So maybe another day I will have all beautiful matching bins in here, but today will not be that day. But this is the day that we are finishing this project and it looks super chaotic out here. It's really not that bad, but I need to put the luggage away. These are the books we are keeping. I don't need this. This stuff is all donations and trash. Our ironing board will go back in there too. And then I have arts and crafts in this bin. The Bucky, don't lick your paw. The printer, that's gonna go back in there, and just a couple miscellaneous things. I mostly just need to tidy up and then actually get things downstairs or like into the car for donations, because like this whole pile is donations. Now the only thing is that I don't really feel up to doing all of that, so I think what I'm gonna be doing is putting a lot of it over in the office. The office is right there. So I think I'm gonna drag all the donations, because like it's all those books, it's really heavy, and to carry it downstairs is just something I'm not able to do today. So I'm gonna put all of the donations and stuff in the next room. Christian will take care of that for me eventually, fingers crossed. But I need to clean this space up. I need to finish this room and get this video done for you guys. And I need to quit rambling because now I'm procrastinating. So let's wrap this project up. I'm actually going to adjust the luggage in a little bit just to get more of it off the ground, because like I said, that's the big goal of this project, is to not have things on the ground. But the other day, Christian, when he came home from work, helped me declutter all of the books that he didn't want, and now we are left with just this small pile. So I'm going to start making little categories. I like to organize my book kind of by genre, and then no rhyme or reason within the shelf. So I've kind of 3 big categories of books that I'm going to be organizing today and putting back on the bookshelves. And then once I'm done with this project, I think you'll see what I'm going to be doing with the suitcases. That, or I'm going to be putting the printer back in the office. One of those 2 things is going to be happening once I get all of these books on the shelf. We very rarely use the big suitcases, so I'm just gonna throw them on top of this thing. And also, if we're using the big suitcases, it's probably meaning that we're going somewhere together, so we'll need both of them anyway. And before you go to the comments and let me know I can stack suitcases inside of each other, I know it is just easiest for us to do it this way. We use our little suitcases really often, and the other ones don't fit inside of each other. But with most things back where they're gonna be in that storage closet, I'm just gonna clean up the landing zone, kind of organize the piles that I'm gonna leave it for Christian to take downstairs for me. Like here, I'm putting all of the books that are being donated in one bin together, and you can kind of catch a glimpse of how much stuff I have crammed into the office. There's trash in there, there's things that are waiting to be sold on Facebook Marketplace, all kinds of things are back there, and now I'm gonna be adding the piles of donations. And Christian hopefully will take care of this soon, because the room that is the office right now, that room that I'm going into, is actually gonna become our baby's nursery. So we need to have that room cleared out for when I start decorating in there. So also, let me know if you're excited for that room makeover to come out. I'm kind of like getting designer's block on what I want to do in there exactly. I'm kind of torn. I have a couple options and ideas, but nothing really finite yet. So we'll see how that room comes together. But one major project that needed to happen before the nursery gets decorated was a storage closet, because there's all kinds of things in the office closet that I know need to come back into the storage closet, but I just couldn't even think about walking into the storage closet, let alone organizing it, until I spent like a solid 3 days apparently to do it all. But with all of that done and the landing zone clean, I'm gonna pull out my Cricut Joy and actually print out some labels. Now this process was extremely tedious and a little bit frustrating. I'm very much still a beginner with my Cricut projects, and doing such small little labels took a lot of effort and resulted in me chipping the majority of my nails. But I do think it was worth it, because these little labels that I ended up using on all of these bins are just so cute and so adorable, and just make the room look so much more organized and aesthetic. So here I am just applying them to the Christmas bins, and then I'm gonna go over to the built-in shelves and apply them there too. Now it's finally time for the big reveal once I finally get this last little label on this arts and crafts bin. And I hope you guys remember what we started off with this storage room looking like. No room to walk, super messy, super cluttered, and then we're finally gonna see a huge change from this before and the after. I hope you guys enjoyed this satisfying declutter makeover project. Let me know down below if you guys enjoyed it by giving this video a like and leaving a comment. It really helps the YouTube algorithm and tells me you love videos like this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!